Hey guys, and welcome to a makeup transformation of one of the most popular superheroes to date, Wonder Woman. I've been so excited to watch this movie. Unfortunately, I didn't have the chance to see it, but you guys have been requesting this like none other. So today I decided to not only turn into Wonder Woman through a beauty makeup, but to do a body painting of her chest piece and her headband. This makeup is going to be so challenging, so let's see if we could turn into Wonder Woman with all of her beautifulness and the accessories of her headband and chest piece. I'm so excited to start this. Let's see if we could do it. First, I'm definitely going to get a wig cap because even though my hair is brunette, it's not quite as dark and thick as Wonder Woman, so I'm going to put a wig on later. And once you have that wig cap securely on, I'm going to get a eyeliner pencil and start drawing out the headband piece of Wonder Woman in all of its rough details. This is going to give us an estimate where we should start our beauty makeup. I prepped and primed my skin with some makeup primer on the rest of my face where this headband isn't touching before I started the video. And as you can see, I am also doing the outline of her chest piece. She has like almost like the head of the eagle at the tip of her costume on her chest, and layers that almost look like armor on the rest of her body, on her chest piece of her outfit. So we're just doing the rough sketch of this to see where we're gonna put all the colors, because it's mostly golds and deep reds that are so beautiful. Honestly, it's just so awesome to see a superhero that's a female that has a strong role. I would love to see other ethnicities of women who are superheroes. Maybe if they even just did a movie just about Storm from X-Men. Hopefully Wonder Woman is a start to many more female superheroes in the future, of all different races and nationalities. But once you have that chest piece completely sketched in, we're going to start color correcting our face to prep for this beauty makeup. I put some orange concealer corrector around my eyes. This step is totally optional, but I definitely have deep set eyes with some dark circles and bags under my eyes. And I'm using some redness corrector of some green concealer around my nose in areas that I tend to have redness and little acne spots. And then I'm going to blend that all out with my absolute favorite beauty sponge. This is the Sigma 3D HD Blender Sponge. Then I'm using CoverGirl's Outlast Stay Fabulous 3-in-1 foundation. It is one of my all-time favorite holy grail foundations, and I'm just tapping that all over my face for a full coverage flawless foundation base, making sure that I'm not hitting the area of my headpiece. That's what I love about this sponge, is because it has a sharp edge and it's so much easier to get around that headpiece area than it would be any other beauty sponge, and it just covers beautifully. This is, again, one of my all-time favorite sponges. I need to get more of them. I'm putting it on my ears, and make sure you have it on your neck as well so that you don't have a mask of foundation and it won't look unnatural on Miss Beautiful Wonder Woman. Don't forget that area above our headpiece as well and cover that with foundation just so that it doesn't look awkward. I'm even concealing my little pimple on my shoulder that I have there. Now it's time to get our concealer. This is the NYX HD Studio Wand Concealer. It is my all-time favorite lately. It does dry really fast, but it acts like the Urban Decay Weightless Complete Coverage Concealer, or is it Full Coverage Concealer? That used to be my holy grail, but this one is a fraction of the price, does similar coverage, but it does dry faster again. I'm putting that on the bridge of my nose and under my eye and on my eyelid to prep and prime it for some shadows later. But as you can see, it just gives a full coverage to cover all of my imperfections and definitely deep dark set circles around my eyes. Once you have those on, I'm just setting my under eyes so that it won't crease with some translucent powder. This is the RCMA No Color Powder with that damp sponge. And then once that is set, I'm dipping into my Laura Mercier 01 highlight. It's a very natural highlighter and it just brightens up my deep set eyes. Now I'm getting more translucent powder and powdering down my whole entire beauty makeup that we've done so far. Before getting my Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, getting the lightest contour with a small to medium domed brush to chisel out them cheekbones. Wonder Woman in the movie, the actress who plays her, she has a more slender face than I do, so this contour is really going to help. I'm also dipping into my contour powders to put it on my nose Wonder Woman's nose is just a little bit more slender than mine is, and it's a little bit different of a shape, so that's why you really want to look at reference pictures while you're doing this beauty makeup. And I'm putting it in the center of the bridge of my nose as well, almost where like a unibrow would go, but don't do it all the way across. And now getting a highlight cream. You could definitely use a highlight powder because putting creams on top of powder doesn't always work. It's actually not advised, but I felt like I needed more highlight there, and it wasn't picking up all of the makeup I did before or messing it up. So I'm just using that on the bridge of my nose, a little bit on my forehead in certain parts to highlight it, and a little bit under my eye with that Kat Von D yellow powder, and then powdering all that down with translucent powder. Just making sure that my nose is very defined and contoured with some more contour powder around it. Now I'm mixing two different Tarte blushes here. I'm using an apricot one and a sparkly reddish tone blush. You can use any blush, honestly, to make it look a little bit more natural. Now I'm using my Anastasia dip brow with an angled brush to draw in Miss Wonder Woman's eyebrows. She has very more of a masculine eyebrow than I do. They're not as arched and they're a little bit more thicker, but they're naturally beautiful. So that's why I decided to use dip brow, because if you know how to use it correctly, it can make your eyebrows look more natural and fluffy and big without it looking like complete markers drawn onto your eyebrows. And her eyebrows go a little bit more towards the center of the bridge of my nose than my eyebrows do, and I'm doing more of a thicker part closer to my eyelid. Once your eyebrows are on, I grabbed the darkest shade from my Kat Von D Shade and Light palette with a fluffy blending brush, and I'm just shadowing in around the hollows of my eyes and near my temples. Wonder Woman has a lot more of a hooded eyelid than I do, and as you can see, I am chiseling the side contours of my face to make it extremely contoured. And I'm also putting a little bit of that contour towards the center bridge of my nose because, again, she has more hooded eyes than I do. And I'm also getting a pencil brush and putting it on the bottom lash line with the same deep brown contour color from my Kat Von D Shade and Light. Now it's time to get some matte black eyeshadow. I'm just using my Morphe N35 Neutrals palette to do my bottom lash line. She has a drop shadow here, meaning it's not a complete major smoky eye makeup look, but it's a natural shadow. We're also bringing this same color shadow with an angled brush on our top lash line, almost like a light feathered eyeliner, just towards the outer corners of the eye to make it bigger and uplift the eye. Blending that out with the blending brush, I'm using different tones of browns and matte black eyeshadows to really give her a very light smoky eye. I'm also getting some of that powder contour with my beauty sponge and putting it on the bottom of my chin because my chin's longer than hers. And then I'm getting my NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in Milk and coloring in my waterline, that bottom eyelid part. Then I am going to curl my eyelashes to prep them for some falsies. Once they're curled, I'm getting some mascara. My favorite mascara lately has been the Lights Camera Splashes by Tarte. And you want to make sure you get your upper and lower eyelashes with this mascara. Before getting some natural fluttery eyelashes, I would suggest Ardell's Wispy eyelashes for this, and making sure they apply to look naturally and fluttery on your eyes. Now I'm getting some cream blush color that also is a 2-in-1 color that could also be used for lips. This is the Balm How About Them Apples. I mixed the peach tone and the reddish tone in it to get this beautiful lip color with a lip brush, and I'm making my bottom lip a little bit more narrower than my actual lip is, just like how Wonder Woman's is in the movies and the actress in the pictures. And I'm getting more of the reddish tone from these colors and doing it on the outer shape of the lip. Then I'm getting one of my all-time favorite highlighters. This is the Ofra Beverly Hills highlighter. I'm getting the lightest shade in that and putting that on my lips, just the bottom lip, my nose, and the highlight of my cheekbones, and just a little bit also, don't forget, on your forehead to give her that amazing glow she has in the movies. Now once that highlighter is slapped on, it is time to move on to our headpiece. I'm getting my Graftobian Aqua Paint. I think this is in Gilded. It's their gold color, and it's the perfect shade for her headband. I'm just coloring that outline that I did before with the eyeliner. This is a little bit like paint by numbers, just sketching out the outline of these pieces makes it so much easier to paint them in. And this is why I didn't put foundation there before, because if I did, it would mix and not show up as gold as it does. It's almost like a muted bronze gold. And I'm getting a hairdryer to dry that down because you want it completely dry before you put on some other details and shadows. And now we're just going to powder that entire headpiece down with some translucent powder before getting our neutral cool tone matte brown eyeshadow from our Morphe N35 Neutrals palette that I've been using throughout this video. And we are chiseling in, or should I say shading in, all the details on Wonder Woman's headpiece. Again, you really want to look at the reference pictures of her headpiece for this. It is extremely detailed, and with this matte brown eyeshadow over the gilded gold, it definitely looks more of like a rusted age look of her real golden headpiece. I'm just getting a push liner brush to do all this detail and then buffing it out with the same brush to feather out more shadows. It reminds me of like a crown. The layers in this take so extremely long to make with all these shadows on top of the gilded gold, but it's so worth it. I'm also getting some white cream paint to do like the star in the middle of her headpiece. It gives off a white reflection because it's the one piece that's showing more light in the middle of her headpiece. So I'm just painting that in, powdering it down with translucent powder, and getting more of that matte brown eyeshadow to do the detail around it to make it stand out more. This definitely took a long time to do just this headpiece, and the whole entire makeup I think roughly took me around 3.5 hours, almost 4 hours. But it's gonna look so great at the end, and it's so worth it. Because once we're done with that headpiece, we're gonna move on to the body corset of Wonder Woman. I'm starting off with some red aqua paint. This one's by Graftobian. They're a little bit more easier to wash off than Wolf Brothers because it's more water-based than Wolf Brothers, which has wax in it. So it comes off a little bit less pigmented than some wax-based ones, but it's so great for layering and it washes off amazingly. And it doesn't stain your skin, which is very important. We're doing that sweetheart top portion of her corset of Wonder Woman and then powdering it down once all that red is dry. And then getting that same gilded gold aqua paint that we used for our headpiece and start painting in all of the fine detail outline we did of the top portion of Wonder Woman's corset costume. And even when you paint in over all those outlines we did, we can still see some of the outlines through the gilded gold aqua paint, so that we know where to place our shadows once we have this full layer completely down on our chest. Once you have that golden gild layer completely on your chest and completely dry, we are going to get some translucent powder to powder it down. So I'm getting this amazing bright red shimmery color, but I'm just buffing that in on top of the red aqua paint to layer it. And then I'm getting some matte black eyeshadow with a blending brush from my N35 Neutrals palette, and just buffing in shadow marks around the gilded gold top portion of the corset. And then I'm getting the push liner brush with that same black eyeshadow and doing all the fine detail on the red part of her corset that has like these almost like a chevron pattern. They remind me of like scales of a lizard. You really want the patterns of this chest piece to go away from the center of the chest of the corset and then do all the fine detail of shadows with the matte black eyeshadow. And unfortunately, my camera decided not to record all the detail I did with a push liner brush on the top gold portion of her costume, but it's basically the same type of eyeshadows and techniques that I did on the headpiece. And then I'm getting some brown aqua paint to paint on Wonder Woman's strap that holds her sword. And if you do a little bit of a mess up, you could definitely, with the aqua paints, just wipe it away with some baby wipes. And now I'm getting some of this beautiful golden eyeshadow from Pat McGrath with my finger, and I'm pressing it into the gold parts of the top portion of her costume with my fingertips because it gives just a glistening golden look, just like how beautiful her costume is in the movie. Honestly, if I was a superhero, I would want a costume this amazing. I'm also getting some translucent powder to powder that on that brown strap that holds our sword, before getting some matte black eyeshadow with our brush to do some shadow on her brown leather strap on her shoulder. Then I'm getting some white aqua paint to do highlight marks on the corset. You're just dabbing this on and then blending it out lightly. A small stipple sponge works perfectly for this to give the right amount of highlight on parts of her outfit. And then I'm getting some black liquid eyeliner. She has some moments in her outfit that crack and are coming apart a little bit from the battles she's done and doing the detail of all of those like triangle chevron patterns on her corset. And we're also doing the details on the gold part of the top of the corset and costume. You could do her whole entire costume on your whole entire body, but you know, you have to paint your boobies in areas like that, and we're trying to keep this channel not too extreme. I don't want to paint on my boobs anytime soon, that close all the way down. Just call me shy. But you have to have a very patient, sturdy hand while you are doing all the details with liquid black eyeliner, because if you mess up with liquid black eyeliner in the details of this outfit, I'm sorry, I don't know how to help you, because it's going to be very difficult to fix any mistakes you do with liquid black liner. You can also get some aqua paint with a very thin brush, black aqua paint, to do all the details, and maybe it'll be more forgiving for you. But I just really want to go in. I was a traditional artist, so drawing like this with liquid black eyeliner is more natural for me personally. But any way you want to do it is fine. You can even get some matte black eyeshadow that's very pigmented with a very thin brush or a push liner brush to do all this, and doing more shadow across that brown strap on our shoulder just to make it look more realistic. And once you're all done with that, we're gonna get our wig. Like I told you before, my hair isn't as dark and voluminous as Wonder Woman, so I really wanted to get a wig to stay traditional to the character in the movie. So I got this wig that I also used in my Jasmine makeup transformation here on YouTube. And once your hair is on and situated and looking fly, we are completely done with our Wonder Woman makeup transformation of the beauty portion and of the body painting. Again, this took so long, and you have to have a lot of patience to do this, but it was so much fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know a lot of you have been requesting this makeup from me on this channel, so I hope I did Wonder Woman justice. Thank you guys so much for watching, but now it's time to turn back into myself. Thank you guys so much for watching this. If you do this makeup though, at home, post on Instagram and tag me #katsketch. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you also to all the people that subscribe to my Patreon. They get to see makeups that fail and don't go on YouTube, and a lot of behind the scenes in my journals that are on my Patreon account. And of course, all the products I used in this video will be listed down below, so you can shop through them, see what type of body paintings and makeups you really want to try for yourself. And I love you guys. I'll see you in another video next time. Bye!